Yo, it's your man Georgia with another video on Division 2, giving you nothing but greatness. Hey, today I have a build that I know you guys are gonna love. Something I've been contemplating on doing for quite a while. This one here is a DPS Future Initiative build. And man, when I say I've been waiting so long to try to put this together, I've finally done it, and now I'm just wanting to share it with you guys. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like at Twitch and YouTube at G underscore boy T. Alright? Now, with this build, when I say it's spectacular, y'all. Y'all gonna love it. Let's start off with the specialization, right? The specialization I got is technician, and with technician, the reason I'm using is because of this bad boy right here. You get the linked laser pointer, right? And the reason I am putting it in all caps like that is because this is going to be one of the main sources to your extra damage that you get from this build. Okay, so as you can see, we have the King Breaker, which is a named item. All right, and it, assault rifle damage, health damage, and damage to target out of cover is all sitting maxed out. 15% weapon damage has been added expertise wise, so the total damage so far is 172. All right, talent on this weapon is magnificent. Perfect flatline. Amplifies weapon damage by 20% to post enemies. Notice what that said. Post enemies. Alright. After 2 kills, applies post to the next enemy you hit. So therefore, 2 kills, all you need to do after 2 kills is just hit somebody with a bullet and they're automatically post. Doesn't matter how many kills you get after that. Anybody you hit is post, which means you're gonna automatically have that 20% extra weapon damage to these post enemies, which is a win-win, right? You can't beat that. So the next weapon we have would be the named item, the Baker's Dozen, with 16% weapon damage expertise wise that's been added to this. Everything's maxed out from rifle damage, critical hit damage, and damage to target out of cover as my attribute. The talent for this weapon is perfect lucky shot. Alright, magazine capacity is increased by 30%. Missed shots from cover have a 100% chance to return to the magazine. So that means as long as you're in cover and I don't care if you're shooting at the air, you're gonna get that bullet back. It's like it never left your magazine. Alright, pretty cool talent. D50, high end item, pistol damage, damage to target out of cover, maxed out, sledgehammer as the talent. Alright. Now, let's get into the build. Let's get into the beauty of this. Now, we're using Future Initiative. And the reason Future Initiative is a beauty because I don't know too many people that know that you can work this build both ways, right? Like I said, it's been something that's been sitting on my heart for a long time. I finally had a chance to make it, so let's talk about it. The ground control talent increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. Come on, like an extra 15% is a lot. All right, when you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. Now, of course, at this point, you're thinking that don't matter no more, right? Because you made a DPS build to where this is just you trying to get damage from the gun, right? Somewhat. But also, this can still be used to help allies gain armor back. And I'll show you how in just a minute. Now, Fenris Group AB, that's what I went with for the chest. Um, Core attribute 15 attributes, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and maxed out critical hit damage on the attributes. Talent, which is probably one of the most special things about this build. It increases total weapon damage by 5% every second you are aiming, while scoped 8 times or higher up to 50%. Right? 50%. That's a lot of damage output, guys. Do your math. All right. Requires a scope with 8 times magnification or higher, which means you cannot put this talent on your gear if you do not have a scope that is 8 times or higher. All right. And what I mean by that is when you go to the scope, if you look right there at the top where it says scope in parentheses, it has 8x, right? 8 times. So you have to make sure it's either 8 Can't be 4, can't be 3.4. It has to be 8 or 12. All right, that's the only way you're going to get that talent to activate during your battle. All right, going to the holster, we have the future initiative holster. We're going with weapon damage and critical hit damage. The knees, we got the false prayers. The reason these knees are going to be so efficient to use because of the multiplicative 8% damage to target out of cover that it gives you. The rifle damage, that's an automatic 10%, which is why we're using the Baker's Dozen, which is probably my most favorite rifle in the game. All right, it's sitting at 15% rifle damage, 17% critical hit damage, and 10% damage to target out of cover. All right, now that has 10% damage to target out of cover. This has 8. That's another 8% added to the 10, so that's 18% total right there, and that's why it's going to be so efficient to you in the field. All right, hands, we went with future initiative. Critical hit damage for the attribute, and of course the weapon damage is 15%. Now, I went with the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack, and the reason I did that is because of its talent. Slots with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. And if you haven't noticed, if you look at my chest, I not only have the extra 10% for assault rifle damage from this gear, but it's also highlighting the 20% reload speed. So I'm using the attachment that gives me 20 plus rounds, right? But as you can see, it has now took away 10% reload speed. And that's okay because I've just gained a plus 20. So you're still in a win-win with this situation, all right? And not only that, but with this, I have on the Fox's Prayers is also giving me a plus 20% accuracy along with the plus 10% rifle damage, right? And that's all because of this backpack. This backpack activates the next talent in line in a brand or gear set, all right? It even activates the 4th piece, which grants us the talent for this gear set, all right, which is the ground control. Increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and all allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. So that Ninja Bike backpack, even though I don't have the Future Initiative backpack on, I don't need it because this backpack alone has now activated that 4th piece needed in order to get that talent activated. All right, and remember, as long as you're at full health, this talent is going to always be active, which is why I said the special thing about this technician specialization is going to be great in battle because of the link laser pointer, which is always going to have your plus 20% from the perfect flatline talent activated. All right, now skill wise, I went with the shield, Crusader ballistic shield, and the reason I went with that is because that's going to help me with a little bit more survivability, because remember the talent says as long as you're at full armor, you and your team will always have that plus 15 weapon and skill damage boost. So if I can somehow prevent myself from getting hit as much as possible, I think the shield is one of the best things to go towards. All right, Restore Hive is my other skill, and the reason I went with that is because don't forget the Future Initiative is still a healing build. We just flipped it to be able to contribute to the damage output that's needed in the game so we can get through quicker, right? So the Restore Hive itself gives you plus 8 repair charges, 40% healing, plus 20% range, drone speed, and 140% towards health of your Restore Hive. All right. Now the Restore Hive is going to be great because not only do you have the shield to protect you from getting hit and losing your buff, but your Restorer Hive is also something that can keep your buff alive if you're getting hit, whether you have the shield on or not. If the Restorer Hive is under you, around you, or you're stepping in it, it can, bring your armor right back. So therefore your buff is back active, and everybody is still getting the benefit from that extra 15 weapon damage and skill damage from this build alone. So let's back out of this. Let's get a look at the gameplay so I can show you what the damage is on this magnificent build that I've been waiting so long to put together. So we're gonna go to the hardest difficulty of the invulnerable. All right, we're gonna bring it up to 5 meters. All right, so just off base damage alone, just body shots, right? Shooting at 7, but as you can see, it's getting higher and higher. 891, 919, getting higher and higher, and that's because of the focus talent that's on the chest piece. We're shooting through the scope. Remember, as long as we're shooting, our damage can max out to 50% extra damage as long as we're shooting. Now, going to the headshot, as you can see, the enemy is pulsed from the laser link pointer. Now I'm hit 1.3 million on the headshot. So that's the buff from the magnification of the 8x scope from the focus talent on the chest piece. As you can see, he's pulsed, so that's plus 20% that I'm getting from the flatline, perfect flatline talent from the gun itself, right? Plus, he's not in cover, so that's an extra 8% of damage to target out of cover, and that's multiplicative. So that means any other damage to target out of cover attribute that you have on this build is gonna multiply together, right? And intertwine with your critical hit damage and your critical hit chance. Alright. Like I said, the build is magnificent. I know y'all will love it. I'm glad I can take the time to put it together for y'all. I hope you enjoyed the content. And before we step out of here, let's see what the Baker's Dozen is doing. Alright. So the Baker's Dozen itself is already sitting at 604. Alright, 604,000 base damage right now. So body shots is hitting at 2.4 as long as we just keep shooting. Because remember, the talent says as long as you're shooting, the more it's gonna add damage. Alright, so let's go to the headshot. Let's see what the headshot does. Going up to 3. So we seen 3.5 million. And this is all DPS, everybody. All DPS. Alright. Alright, so it looks like it's topping out at 3.5, which is still magnificent, especially being how it's a healing build. And once again, y'all, I hope you all enjoyed the content. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, follow on Twitch and YouTube at G_boy_T. And let me know what you guys done different, or if there is another way to do this, because I am excited to see what you guys come up with. Alright, thank you guys for listening in, all the ones that's tuning in, and shout out to Hit Clan, High in Talent. If you guys are wondering what the name of the clan is, feel free to join. We're a cool bunch, fast upcoming group. We help with clan on the we help other clans on raids, anything of that nature. Just give us a holler. Georgia Boy T is out.